Hello, besties. How are you tonight? We are going to recap Potomac and Family Karma. Also, we have some news coming from all the way from Morocco, where Ultima's Girls Trip is filmed, right? I'm going to start with Family Karma today just because I have extra sauce and extra tea from Potomac that was revealed last night. So I want to connect the episode recap to the news that we got because it's definitely connected. And I think it would make more sense to have that conversation right after the recap for Potomac. So I'm going to start with Family Karma tonight. And oh my God, holy moly. Family Karma keeps bringing the drama, keeps bringing the culture. I'm excited for Amrit and and Nicholas' wedding. I'm also excited for Vishal and Richa finally, you know, signing their marriage license. But before this whole entire thing happens, we had so much to talk about though, because first off, Risha and Bishop went to the courthouse, but they couldn't get married because Bishop forgot to read the fine print that said you have to wait 3 days after they stamp the the paperwork. I mean, I think it's hysterical that they were going to the courthouse. They were so happy, and they came out 5 minutes later saying like, "Yeah, no, it didn't happen. It did not happen. We forgot to read this, and we are going back home. We were still not married." On the other side of town, we have another, wedding preparation. This time it's Nicholas and Enrit talking to a priestess who's going to perform the wedding. Enrit's parents join, and it seems to me like maybe Nicholas is a little uncomfortable with the conversation just because he wants some traditions included into this wedding that is heavily leaning towards Enrit's traditions. But I mean, the great part is the priestess actually, without him asking her, she already prepared something special for him. She added, saying vows to the ceremony, which is not traditional in an Indian wedding, as they, you know, said in the previous episode. I really like how they are teaching the viewers and myself about Indian traditions. I've never been to an Indian wedding, and um, this is why I watch this show because Enrich's parents they said that weddings are very traditional, and a gay wedding is not something that the Indian community is very open to, and they want to be the example to a loving family where they invite and welcome everybody into their family. They said Enrich's dad said that he wants this wedding to be an example to the LGBTQIA community. They want to make sure that everything that the community represents, I'm talking about the LGBTQ community, what we represent is shown in the process of the wedding. Something that I, as a viewer, appreciate because it's teaching other people that even if you come from a very conservative traditional family, you still can have loving parents. The priest explained that in a wedding, they focus on the gods and the goddesses, right? And she said that they need to look into this at not the gender of the gods, but what they represent. I think it's very true. Sometimes we forget that some parts of religion if you ignore the kind of like what you've been taught the whole entire life, and you see it from the perspective of values and how you can implement those into your home. I think it's a very positive thing. She said that one God represents stability and the other one represents love. So those are values that you want to have in a very successful relationship. I think that was a great way to introduce Indian culture and traditions to the viewers who had never, witnessed the process of, planning an Indian wedding. I am going to say that if you are going to a gay wedding, you better dress up. Like you have to dress up because we don't do basic. Basic is not part of our vocabulary. We always go extra. So in this scene with Bali, Bali was showing the dress, right, that she was gonna wear. And she said, I'm gonna look like, for some people, I'm gonna look like I'm part of the circus, and for some others, I'm gonna look like I'm avant garde. And that's exactly how everyone should look going to a gay wedding. Because basic is basic, and we don't do basic here. Keep that in mind. If you look like, for some people, you are part of a circus, you are doing it right. She also is having the conversation about moving with O'Malley, that's Bali's boyfriend, and I think they make such a beautiful couple. They are both absolutely beautiful, and you can tell they love each other. So I agree. She should be planning that and plant the seed for her future, and I'm here for that. I'm so happy that her mom is giving her that advice because it is true. If you have something that is stable, it needs to be built with trust and experiences and adventures together, and the best way to do it is by living under the same roof. Then we are presented with the celebration of spring. That is Holi. I didn't grow up, but I lived in Jersey City for a very long time. And there is a big Indian community in Jersey City. And they do the Holi every year. And every single time that I tried to go, something happened. I was never able to go. And I finally wanted to go, and I was planning on going. The pandemic happened. So no Holi for me. But learning what the meaning of the celebration is was amazing because for me, that was just tossing, color powder to each other, getting messy, but having a good time. That's what it was for me. There was nothing else behind it. But the way that it was playing to us on this episode now makes a lot of sense. What Holi is, for those who are listening right now, is the celebration of the spring. So when the flowers bloom in the spring, they show the colors. Some flowers even have that powder. When they open, you see the pollen and stuff like that. So it represents the moment of like rebirth and happiness and the colors of spring. I'm here for it, and I want to go to a Holi. So if any of the cast member from Family Karma is listening right now, you better invite me to one because I'm here for it. I'm here for the party. I want to go toss some color powder on people's faces, get drunk, have a good time. So yeah, this is me asking the cast of Family Karma to invite me to the next Holi because I will pack my bags and make sure to go. During this celebration, obviously, there's going to be some shade and some gossip because, hey, that's what we do, right? As friends, we always talk shit. Like Anisha said, and it's true, that's what we do all the time. We talk shit. Um, Vishal and Amrit were so invested on Anisha's relationship about they were concerned and it's too soon. She's asking him, giving him a timeline of a proposal, and she's talking about a prenup. Um, is it going too fast? I don't think it's nobody's business. I mean, I obviously as friends we are gonna be worried about stuff like that. But Anisha is a grown woman, and I think she can make the decisions for herself. Um, I appreciated that Brian took the initiative to tell Anisha what they were talking about because that's what a true friend does. I mean, they were going a little far with their comments about her relationship, and she said it on the show too as well. She said like, "This is not their relationship. They took 10 years to propose or get married. I'm not like that. I'm not waiting that long. I have a plan, and whoever is gonna, be part of my life, they're gonna take that plan with them and run with it. So it's good that she's asking for a prenup, and advices on prenup. I mean, we saw her conversation with Lopa and Risha about what would be the best way to to write it, what would be the the what she should say, and we found out. Listen to me. This is why it's important. I always say this. You need to read the fine line. Risha and Bishal have a prenup, right? Before they got married, they signed it, and that's great. I'm here for it. Everybody should have a prenup. Everybody, because you never know. That doesn't mean that you're preparing. You are entering a marriage or a wedding or a relationship, not trusting the other person, but you always have to protect yourself in some level. And a prenup, that's what it provides you some sort of protection if something happens. But Vishal signed the prenup without reading the prenup. I don't know if he's playing dumb for the camera and for the show. Because if you sign a paper without reading, oh boy. I hope you have enough, I will say brain cells to read the contract that Bravo gave you when you sign up as a cast member. I hope you had the same curiosity to at least read some of the prenup. And he said that Risha told him what it was all about, and that he trusts her, and that's all hunky dory, and that's all fine. But I mean, a prenup is a legal paper. Look what had happened to all these housewives that we had seen getting divorced, that we had seen, relationship falling apart. Some of them, either signed a prenup without reading it. Second, they didn't have a prenup and they married down. And the other person gets half of what they already worked for. Or they didn't save any money and the prenup wasn't providing any financial support. And they're trying to find legal ways to get what they deserve for whatever long they've been married or whatever. So I always tell people, if you are signing anything, please take the time to read it. And for those who are getting married, please take the time to write down a prenup and get some legal advice on it, because that's very important. You don't want to regret years into your relationship, because relationship, like everything, have a lot of ups and downs. And obviously some people can't take the downs and then they fall apart. So a prenup is a cushion. I advise everybody to have one, even if you don't have any money, because it's not about just the money. It's about everything that you build as a couple. You know, you vision yourself building something, and you making sure that if something happens, that uh, everything that has been built together is split equally. I mean, like Anisha said, I mean, they were just talking shit with a side of naan. For those who don't know what naan is, it's a bread. It's an Indian bread. And I think it was a genius shake. I was laughing my ass off because um, it's genius. She is such a great confessional, one-liner type of person, and I love her for that. Then we have the opportunity to visit Brian's new apartment. And let me tell you, a hot ass mess. The boy has tailgate chairs. You know what? Those that you open the foldable chairs, whatever it calls, the one that you take to tailgating at the you know at the stadium before a game. An air mattress, a goddamn air mattress, boy. You are in your 30s. You just moved into your own apartment and you're telling me that you only have an air mattress. You know what was missing? A white refrigerator just to like put a little cherry on top of that mess because I was embarrassed for him. I was having secondhand embarrassment. Please go to the closest IKEA if you don't want to spend money on furniture, but buy something that is not foldable or it's not an air mattress. Just get your bed, get a frame, get something. But please tell me that by now you have your apartment decorated because I cannot stand it. Boy, put your shoes on. We're gonna get you to the closest furniture store. But I appreciate that about Brian and Anisha. They do have a friendship, and they sat down and talk about everything that happened during the Holi and how he support her no matter what, and he understand that it's her calling. Good for him. He is there for her. Period. At the end of the episode, we also get to go in a magical, and that's just being sarcastic, low budget date. Rich took Monica on a gondola ride with like roses and whatever, but like, come on, come on. He said that was the Venice of America. That looks more like, I don't know, that's not even like the Venice of anything. That just like an awful little river with these people that honestly, if they were there, I would like be like, no, I'm not going here. I'm not going on this. This is not. It was just so dreadful. I was so embarrassed for her, and it looked like he was going to propose, you guys, but there was no proposal. There was just a little joyride around the river, a some pedals on it, some lady yelling at them and telling them to kiss under the bridge. But I was more concerned that they were gonna tilt and like it was just so messy, you guys. I hope that Monica starts seeing the red flags that this guy is. And yes, he may be just young and wanting to have a good time, but it's getting tiresome. As a viewer, you start to see maybe from our perspective that she wants something and he wants something else. And there's no middle ground. It's either what he wants or the highway. And even though Monica is being very patient about getting engaged and pushing the engagement, and now thinking that she was going to get engaged because she was on this gondola, because she would like to go to Venice, and I appreciate the thought, but in the intention, but come on, boy, that no, don't do it ever again because low budget was the theme of that day. And I don't know. Monica, red flags everywhere. Run, 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 run. The girl looked like she was going to cry at the end of the date. At least on TV, that's what it seems like. She was so sad because she was expecting this man to pull out a ring out of his pocket and ask her to marry him. And that did not happen. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that she should wait a little longer? Do you guys think that she should just walk away and break things off? I wonder, you guys, if they still together. Because Monica doesn't have any post with him on her Instagram. Who break up with who is the question. And I would like you to share your thoughts on this episode of Family Karma by going to my Instagram or my Twitter and looking for my post on Family Karma and just share your opinion. I'm right here answering all your questions. And if you have any question, please leave them on any of my platforms and I will answer them super quick. Because right now I wanna start talking about Potomac. I'm exhausted with Potomac at this point. I mean, I love the franchise, I love all the ladies, but it's given desperation from some of the cast members at this point, and not only for what's happening on the show, but what is happening outside the show. And we will talk about that after we chitty chat about the actual episode. And it starts with Robyn looking for wedding dresses with Ashley and Giselle. And she said that she did not know that she needed like a license in a wedding and she needs a cake or the hair person or the makeup. And I'm thinking, girl, you were married before. What are you talking about? Like, please. Don't pretend that you did not know that even though you want this non-wedding to happen, just the two of you guys, Juan Dixon and Robyn, because roommates, I guess, get married by with no guests or whatever. But no matter what, legally wise, you still have to have a license. You still have to have somebody to perform the ceremony, witnesses. And now she wants a wedding dress, which I think is dumb because I thought that she just wanted to minimize cost. I mean, everything when it comes to Robyn is extremely low budget. Non-wedding wedding, low budget play date, something else. That low budget speaker Bluetooth moment. That was like so low budget. Like one, that was like $3 speaker. But yeah, they are at this wedding dress place, and Giselle and Ashley are talking about some incidents that happened during the trip to Mexico on the last night, right? Where all the girls went out, and it seems like Wendy and Mia had like a vagina bumping moment based on what Giselle said. But Ashley just doing the most because she is kind of helping her to believe that something else happened between Mia and Wendy, which it tends to happen a lot with Ashley. Like she likes to embellish any conversation with too much information. So Giselle called it the vagina bumping. And I'm so sorry for the word vagina. It's not, I don't know, it sounds weird to me. But that they kept saying that word. Allegedly, what happened was that Mia saw Wendy's cooch and then Wendy tapped Mia's cooch, and there's a lot of like sexual energy based on what Ashley said. And let me tell you guys, I think it's just kind of weird to always have like this agenda of tarnish somebody's reputation in any way. They started with Wendy's, you know, this nonstop attack on Wendy because the argument between Mia and her in Miami. Then they started to say that Eddie was being happy Eddie. You know what that means? How he was trying to look and flirt with other girls. Now they're saying that Mia and Wendy were being a little touchy touchy. It's so tiring when the only storyline that they have going on right now, it's anything that happened outside the camera that we don't actually see, that we don't hear about. And like if we can see it and we don't know the facts, I kind of maybe they don't talk about it too much. And the fact that Giselle said herself that she was going to make up a story based on Ashley's information because she always, I mean, her story, her version is always going to be better no matter what she gets. Because Miss Giselle decided to go to Mia to ask these questions, and Mia's like, no, we we just look at each other's parts and what's not. As you guys remember, when she was on Watch What Happened Live, she said that she would have a four-way with Eddie, uh, G, and Wendy. I'm like, that's kind of like weird to say when you are working with these people on the daily. I appreciate Mina's openly sexual vibe, but there is a way of realizing that you can make people uncomfortable by being that way when the other person, the other people are not, you know, consenting of you talking like this about them, you know. And something very important that Chris said to Candace in the following scene is that it seems like all they do when they go on trips is to talk about each other's husbands. Because based on the episode, and not only this one, but pretty much the whole entire season, is, you know, picking in somebody else's relationship. And we're gonna talk about that when we get to the strip club part because god damn that scene with Charisse, it was just a lot. And we had to unpack it because the rumors are just getting way too much. Too much. And then we're gonna talk about the other ones. About Robyn and Juan Dixon. Because that's another one. When Giselle went to Mia's house, one of the main reasons for her to go there was because they are planning a bachelorette party for Giselle's non-wedding wedding. They got a bus. They got, you know, they going to a strip club to have steak and lobster because I guess that's what people eat at strip clubs. I don't you honestly, I do not want to eat anything from a strip club. I don't care how many stars he has, but I do not want to see uh you know, body parts and roast beef dancing around in a pole while I'm eating a steak and a lobster. I do not approve of that message. I don't care how good it is. And let's be honest, that food that they show in that strip club did not look appetizing whatsoever. It looked like one of those frozen dinners, you know, the one that you get in the frozen aisle. And you only eat it when you are in a hurry. Like you don't even buy it because you know that it's like pure chemicals to keep it like frozen or whatever. Like there's like so much preservative that it just tastes like salt. Like you are eating a spoonful of salt. Absolutely disgusting. I saw that steak with a weird sauce on it, and I'm like, I send it back in the mail. Send the fucking food back in the mail. They didn't invite Wendy or Karen to this strip club trip, but I can see how Wendy and Karen are winning. Wendy was on MSNBC talking about Roe v. Wade because when they were filming, that was a very heavy political topic, and she is a political commentator, winning success in her career, something that most people in the housewife universe don't have, which is an actual career outside of being a Bravo Lab or I don't know, selling merchandise. I mean, those are businesses. Yeah, I get it. But she actually went to college for it. She had a career before joining the Housewives, right? So seeing her speaking on MSNBC about something that is very, important and the importance nationwide showed that she's winning. And then we had Karen on the other side that she's like, I don't care. I don't care about going in this bus and do the she called it let me remember she said the wiggle dance on a pole. She said, I don't want to go on a bus doing the wiggle dance when I have money to make. I want to, get my candles going. There's the holiday season coming, and I'm going to have a holiday version of, her candle. She is busy with her life. She doesn't care. Even though she said that she was going to take a photo and post it just for Robyn to see how she's paying, for her business. I don't know if it was shady though. What kind of shady level? Is she calling Robyn poor? Like, I have money and you don't have it? Or maybe she's just saying, I'm busy with my life. I don't care what you're doing. Some people said that Karen cares too much about Robyn, but what happened when these ladies arrived to the strip club? What was the conversation about? What was the topic of conversation on this strip club trip? Which, by the way, Mia and Ashley wore the same outfit. If that happens to me, I will just go back home. I will not allow myself to go on any type of event knowing that somebody else is wearing exactly the same clothing than I am. No, 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 no. I would have just turned around, get on my car, and leave and say, maybe I'll meet you guys at this strip club, because it's not happening. So yeah, when they get to the strip club, the main topic is Karen. Literally, the main topic of conversation at Robyn's bachelorette party is Karen. And that's when the rumors about her allegedly, because I don't want to get sued, having sex with somebody in a club bathroom was shared by Charisse. And the details that were given were too much, were too damaging, and I'm hoping that Karen dragged her ass at the reunion because that's what she deserved for saying such slanderous, comments, even if they're true. There was a air of vindictiveness, just being vindictive, trying to damage her reputation because she knows that she's on TV. She's very aware. Charisse is very aware of stuff. She's not stupid. I'm gonna share this. Erin just sent a message and she said, "I thought they were cute, looking the same. Ashley wore better though." I agree. I like Ashley's look better. I think because Ashley, uh, I don't know. There's something about Ashley, maybe because she's petite and she's like short. Maybe she looks like cute. So I agree. I think Ashley looked better wearing the snake bodysuit. But it's cute for them. I will not want to step into an event and find out somebody else is wearing the same that I'm wearing. That's a big fashion stunt. But anyways, when they were at the strip club, all this conversation that happened between the ladies and Cherie saying that, Karen left her when they went to a club and that she disappeared. And everybody's listening to this conversation, like acting as, this is kind of true. Even Giselle and Robyn said on their confession they heard something about this, and the one person that maybe did not know was Mia. They kept saying that when Karen gets drunk, she just she will just ride any dick. That was literally what she said, and that's too much. That was a little crossing the line, and is she trying to get her champagne flute back? I think she's trying too hard, and I'm saying this. I better see Karen dragging them, not only her, but also Giselle, because they kept using the word prostitute. And then they go to the extent to imply that Ray is a pimp. They not only call Karen a prostitute, which by definition, she was not being a prostitute if she was sleeping with men just for the sake of having sex. A prostitute require to be hired to perform an act. That is prostitution by definition. Mayor Webster, where are you at? That is the definition of prostitution. But then they go to an extent to imply that Ray is a pimp because he's an older man. He's pimping around his wife because he can get it up. So he allows Robyn to sleep with other men just for her to satisfy her needs. Even if that's true, which I think is just weird if you don't have that information to try to paint somebody as a pimp. Even if that's true, that's absolutely nobody's business. Because let's be honest, none of these women who are talking about Karen's marriage have a successful relationship. Where is Miss Giselle's husband or boyfriend or whatever? She was faking a date with Jason from Winter House for some press. Where is Charissa's? I don't know him. Is he around? No. Ashley, who likes to intervene in all this type of conversation, is going during this time through a very public separation between her and Michael Darby. And then we have Mia, who, whatever she has going on in her house, I mean, that's her business. But as we see, there is a pattern of these women with no stable, no successful relationship to trying to paint and destroy other ladies' relationship. And this time, the conversation, from my perspective, went too far. They said Karen is a prostitute, and they said that Ray is a pimp. And I hope to God that they are ready to either, drag them at the reunion and have some lawyers just draft a lawsuit for slander. Because I don't know, you guys. Please let me know what you think. Aaron said they all just sound jealous of Queen Karen. I agree. Like I said it before, they tend to go after people who have everything they do not. Either successful marriages, successful business, successful lives. Like they did to Monique, like they did this season to Wendy, like they doing right now to Karen. And this is when I'm going to start by saying it's interesting that during this conversation, everybody was talking about Karen. But now we know that the allegations of Juan Dixon having an affair are true. During the pandemic, he allegedly got some DMs and he thought that the girl was a fan and he kind of like went with it because he was enjoying the attention. And I'm saying this because the person who said it was Miss Robyn, who denied Juan Dixon having an affair with her whole open chest, that even she called him from Mexico just to make sure that he denied the accusation that Karen was saying. And Karen was right the whole entire time. She was right. And I'm gonna give you a just like a little, of what she said on her Patreon. I did not pay for it, but obviously people out there already released the topics of conversation on this Patreon because I'm not going to pay for Robyn because I knew from the get-go that she was lying. I said it on my previous recap. The way that Juan Dixon reacted was the way that a man who is guilty acts when people are exposing them. I said it before. And people were saying on my Twitter comments, saying like, no, he acted like somebody who's tired of this lady trying to go after him. And the ladies only have gone after him because he keep pushing this wedding. They were living together without being married, and it was really weird the way they now they don't want a wedding. That's what it is. That's the topic of conversation. But this was the first time that Karen brought up, the allegations of an affair. And guess what? She was right. The lady who allegedly reached out to him lives in Canada. And when the pandemic, restriction were lifted, she flew, to Potomac or that area. And she said that the girl lost her wallet. And that's why Juan Dixon's credit card and name and information were on the bill from this hotel. And I did not know that Juan Dixon was such a terrible person, that he cared so much for the fans that he will pay for the accommodation bills. Because if that's the case, I'm going to have to start DMing him because I want a free trip to Potomac. I mean, if he cares so much about the fans of the show, um, also the lady decided to DM Giselle and somebody else in the cast. I don't remember exactly who else knew, but he said that two people from the cast knew about this affair before they started filming. So keep this in mind. Robyn has been lying to the viewers by holding information that even people in the cast knew. She was trying to paint, Juan Dixon as this, you know, honest, non-cheating person. He cheated before. I honestly, I'm tired of housewives who now hold information from the viewers and they wait for the show to wrap up, the filming of the season to end, to utilize and capitalize this information. Because let's not forget, they know that the fans will pay for this information. They realize that they can make extra coins by doing so, but this is not the premises of the show. They're supposed to come on the show to open up their lives, and they have the right, to share as much as they can share. But if the conversation is brought up during the season, you best believe that you should be talking about it during the season is filmed and not wait until the end to charge viewers for a Patreon membership to get the tea. It's like the other one, the Heather Gay, who lied about her black eye, made it look like she knew what happened, made it look like somebody punched her in the face, like it was some domestic violence, harassment, and, kind of physical altercation with somebody in the cast or something. And then went on Watch What Happened Live and said that the answer to this mystery was going to be in her book to sell books, because the eye is not mentioned once in said book. So Bravo better get their talent together, because if this pattern start happening in every single franchise, I'm giving up on the Housewives, because that's not how reality TV works. I love what Candace posted after, Robyn reveals that she knew about the affair that Juan Dixon was being accused of. I want to read it to you guys because this is very important. I want to read what she said because as a cast member of a TV show, she understands what she signed up for. And it reads like, this is from Candace Twitter. I'm going to read it verbatim so we get the full picture of her thread. And it says, our boss's favorite clapback when we are playing coy about certain aspect of our lives is, you are on a reality show about your life. There is an expectation that doing no harm, we show up to this platform as our authentic selves. And while we reserve the rights to be judicious about what we share, there is a special brand of audacity attached to the individuals who will knowingly bury the lead in exchange for damning and salacious lies that stand to cause irreparable harm to innocent people. It tarnishes the integrity of the premise of our show. It tap dances on the intelligence of the viewership that champion our stories and discover their own peril in our lives. And when it's not that deep, it simply occludes amusement. It's not entertaining, it's not interesting, it's whack. Why be open or genuine or authentic when the least of us can rob our viewers of the truth and continually be rewarded for it? What are we doing? And a better question, what are you all watching? That, my friends, is the response of Candice verbatim to this situation with Robyn. And I cannot agree more with her. Because it's true. They spent a whole season going after Chris, trying to destroy Candace's relationship, while they were holding on to the information that these women DM to Robyn, Giselle, and somebody else on the cast. So they were aware that the allegations were true. And they deflected it by focusing on other people and creating lies to trick the viewers. That's honestly what it is. And people can say, oh, you are producing the show now, like on Twitter. But I mean, as viewers, we know that. Like, we can act like we don't know that these reality TV shows are produced. We cannot ignore that part. We know that some parts of these shows are true. And that's why they're reality TV shows. But lately, it has become obvious that some of these ladies try to hold on to information to now even, charge the fans if they want to know their truth. And that's why I think Heather and Robyn are the perfect sample of two housewives that have collapsed on their latest seasons. Because when you lie to your own fan base, I'm not fan of either. So it's not like I'm hurt. Oh my gosh, I'm so hurt because they lied to me. No. But I do know people who stand these women, who are fans, and they think that they're telling the truth. For them to find out that they were being lied to, and now they need to pay a Patreon to find out that Robyn knew about this, and she knowingly decided to ignore that part of the information while filming. She even said it on her podcast, whatever, shady whatever, that she was waiting for somebody on the show to bring it up for her to talk about it. And she laughs and, oh, nobody did. I'm like, yeah, they did. Karen called you out, you and your roommate, that he was cheating and you are protecting him. And her deflection process started with, like, by sharing the photo of Karen with blue eye, and then Cherise painting Karen as a prostitute and Ray as a pimp. I just don't think Uh, Aaron said, I am a fan of Robyn, but it's so hard to get cheated on. Maybe she wasn't ready to tell everyone. I mean, I agree. I mean, cheating is not easy. I've been cheated on in the past. My previous marriage, I was married before. This is my second marriage. My first marriage ended because I was cheated on. Trust me, I know how hard it is to go through a divorce and and knowing that the person that you love was not being faithful or was lying to your face. But um, she has this horrible habit of deflecting her own issues by trying to stir the pot in somebody else's relationship. Oh, Candy. Candy just joined. Hi, Candy. Uh, she just said, Robyn was wrong, was dead wrong. She had no problem attacking everyone else's marriage, and that's exactly what I was saying. Um, she she just went after Karen, and in such a way that I was really, really upset because you don't have the proof. You're just saying for saying. It's the same thing that happened with Candace when she brought that $3 Bluetooth speaker, where she decided to withhold half of the the IG live, which is still on Candace's Instagram. If you wanna go and watch it, it's there. She decided to edit the part where Candy said like these bitches are not to be trusted because she was feeling hurt because they were going after her in her marriage. But she ignored the part where Candice was praising Robyn and praising her business and how she will support the Bidazzle, whatever that she runs. Which, by the way, I do not get Bidazzle anything. It feels so early, like late 90s, early 2000s when we had those bedazzlers. Remember those like guns where you like glue gun the little diamonds and rhinestones on like whatever. That's how I feel like. And I'm like, that's so outdated. I don't know if that's a trend right now. Maybe I'm not in with what the kids wear right now, but I don't get bedazzled anything. Um, but yeah, I think I think that by Robyn withholding this information is not doing any good to the show. It's showing that she is picking and choosing what she wants to share in a way that it is brought up on the show. If they didn't talk about Juan cheating in at any level, then she should have just not say anything. She even called Juan from Mexico, and Juan yelled at her. And if they're trying to work things out, that's their prerogative. They're adults. They can do whatever they want. Whatever it works for them is great. But if you're doing the most, it's because you're trying to hide the most. And the moment that she called him, and he acted that way, and obviously she was like putting on a show for Ashley to feel like bad for, oh my god, Juan is so upset and whatever. No, he was not upset because he was being accused of false accusations. He was upset because Robyn knew that he didn't want to talk about it. That's how I feel, you know. So yeah, this whole thing this happening lately is upsetting me because I never seen this happening before on Housewives. Yes, you can maybe get a book deal and you share more, you elaborate on the topic. Like we have, Taylor Armstrong, releasing a book after season 2 because she wanted to share an extension of the topic that they talked about during the season. But it wasn't because she was withholding information from us. If anything, She shared too much on the show. And I appreciate that from her because it was a way to let people know out there that she was going through domestic violence and the pain that brought when when her ex did what he did and how that affect her daughter. But it's not like buy my book to find out if what I talked about is true or not, or join my Patreon so you can get the truth. Either talk about it or don't talk about it, but don't take the hard-earned coins from your own fans. It's just, to me, it seems like it's losing the beauty of reality television now at this point. And that's why I said Bravo needs to get their talent together, because if this becomes a trend, the show as a show will lose interest. Because now the resolutions of the problems are going to be released after by a Patreon account created by the housewife, instead of resolving the issue or talking the issue on the show. Because we already pay for Bravo. I don't have cable, but I have a Hulu Live where I get my Bravo, and I also have Peacock where I get my episode the next day if I miss the night before. So I'm already paying enough to watch Bravo. Now to pay extra if a housewife wants to tell their truth. It's like the Jane Shah of the world now too. Now she has a website where you have to give her your email to get her truth. I'm like, girl, we already know your truth. You lie. You lie, you lie, you lie. And I'm not going to give you my email because I don't want you to steal my information. Thank you very much. The end. I'm like, I love reality television. I do this podcast because I love the Bravo universe and the housewives and everything in between. But if it's going to stop being a reality, if they're gonna start overproducing it, then it's gonna lose the charm. And if they're gonna start to ignore real facts that the cast know, and they knowingly decide to pretend that it's not there, I don't know, you guys. I want you to share your perspective on this whole Robyn Dixon, Juan Dixon situation, and how the ladies reacted. Like I said, I read the whole entire thread that Candace made on Twitter, which, by the way, if you didn't get it, go read it yourself on Twitter, because you need to read it. She spoke from the perspective as somebody who joined a show to share her part of her life, and now she's realizing that other people are just using that information to deflect and create fake drama on the other people's lives. And from fake drama, we're going to real drama, you guys. This is the last the last news that I want to share with you, because this is really juicy. It's coming straight from Morocco. The ladies of Ultimate Girls Trip finished filming over the weekend, but right before they ended the film, a huge fight happened, and obviously the information leaked for everybody to know. And now we know that Caroline Manzo and Brandy Glanville had an altercation. It was not physical, you guys, but it did involve some, invading somebody's space and not getting the hint. For what it was reported, Brandy was either being drunk Brandy or something, but it seems like she was trying to kiss multiple times Caroline Manzo. And Caroline was not there for that mess. And this is what I want to say about this. Listen, am I a fan of these two women? No. Honestly, I appreciate what they brought to their show when they were on the show. Like when Caroline was, she's an OG. She is part of New Jersey history. And Brandy, Brandy has moments in Beverly Hills that people remember, that people appreciate. I like Brandy more in a different type of setting than Beverly Hills. Like I like Brandy on the Traders. I like Brandy on the previous Ultimate Girls trip. You know, she has a reality TV type of personality. But for Beverly Hills, perhaps I don't think she fits, especially now. I don't think people keep asking for her to come back to the show. I personally don't think she is the solution to the show. I know that people are trying to find the next Lisa Rinna and they think that Brandy is that person, but no, I don't think she is. But anyway, she is part of this new cast, and I was kind of excited because I was like, I haven't seen Caroline for a while. Brandy did great last season of Ultimate Girls Trip when she was on it. Um, but I was not expecting that they were the reason of both of them leaving early. They finished filming. For my understanding, when Brandy approached Caroline Manzo, for whatever reason, she was trying to like kiss her or be too touchy, and Caroline was like, "No, no, I'm not here for it." And if you watch New Jersey, you know that Caroline Manzo is a very old school Italian woman, and they are not here for the invasion of their space. She is a matriarch. She likes people to, keep their distance. And she is Jersey. So I'm 100% that she gave Brandy the energy that she was not expecting coming from this elderly. Because she's not young. She's like in her 60s now. So I'm pretty sure Brandy was not expecting the reaction that she got. And Brandy was put in a separate hotel and sent back home the next day. And Caroline left at the end of the night because she felt like she didn't want to be there. And the other ladies kind of agree with her. You know, they agree that the outdoor kitchen was too much and she just wanted to be home. And this is my only opinion of this matter. Now that I shared the information that we all got through the whole entire weekend, is that I know people out there are ready to defend Brandy. But if anyone invades my personal space, you best believe that the cops better be called because I am dragging a bitch. When somebody says no, it's no. And maybe Brandy was just being Brandy, funny Brandy, and trying to line up the night or whatever. If she didn't get that hint, it becomes harassment. Maybe her intention was not being, harassing Caroline, but after the first no, it becomes a problem. Because you best believe if Brandy was another man or was a man and she did this to a woman, the conversation will be different. I'm just hoping that it's air because we deserve to see what happened for us to judge, But if production decided to do an investigation if production sent Brandy back home, it doesn't look good for Brandy. That's what I think. It's very important that we take, the show for what it is, a show, but also to analyze how these actions will will happen, or will, you know if it happens to any of us in the real world, not in a TV show, how it will truly, develop, and how it will, escalate. Because, for example, I'm just putting myself as an example. If anyone, girl, guy, whatever, tries to kiss me and I said no, even though if it's a joke, and I say no, and tries again, no, I'm going to react. If this happened in a working environment, you best believe that who's harassing the other person gets fired, even if it's a joke, because HR doesn't play with this anymore. And reality TV shows are a job. They are a talent, and they have an HR department. So for them to take for them to make this decision to send Brandy back, I think it's gonna be really hard to defend her when the show airs. The only thing is that it's gonna air probably like next year, so we will probably forgotten by then. But I think that if Brandy had any chance to go back to Beverly Hills, this might be the nail in the coffin for her not to. Because Bravo has given her many opportunities. And people like Brandy because she's a wild card, but sometimes she crosses the line too much. And I can name just a few. She slapped LVP. She threw wine at Eileen's face. Even though she didn't say anything, you can tell that Vicky was uncomfortable last season a couple of times when Brandy was like dancing on top of her or whatever. And now we have this situation with Caroline Manzo. So there's going to be a point where Brad was like, okay, no. I mean, we gave way too many chances. And she was doing so good. I was so happy for this new, kind of like rebranding of Brandy. She did so great on The Traitors. I was so happy to see her with Kate Chastain. They make a great duo. I think if it was for me to choose a show, it would be a show of them together. I wish Peacock would have given Brandy and Kate a show, because those two as a duo, amazing. But now we are waiting for Ultimate Girls Trip 3, yes. And the reason why, I'm going to explain this to the people who are listening right now. I know a lot of people are concerned about this show not having a release date, or the trailer hasn't been released publicly, because I watched the trailer during BravoCon, but it hasn't been released. And the reason why it hasn't is because 4 people, no, actually 6 people in that trip are still on airing shows. And the conversation that they have on the trailer are topics that are talked about during the season. So they are waiting for Potomac's reunion to air, at least some of it. They were waiting for Miami to air too as well. and Salt Lake City, because in the in the trailer, one of the topics is the black eye, which I'm exhausted. Like, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. I'm done with it. Let's move on. I hope they edit that out because we are tired. We are tired of this black eye. So that's the reason. But if my calculation doesn't fail me, um, Ultimate Girls Trip should premiere right after Miami, which ends, if I'm not wrong, so I'm counting, the first week of March. So I'm trying to count in my head. I might be wrong. I might be off, but I'm just trying to count the episodes that are left and the reunion. We do know the Potomac finale is this weekend, and then goes into, we had the Super Bowl the following weekend, and then the reunion starts. So basically, Potomac will end the last weekend of February, or the first week of March. Same with Miami. The only difference is Miami doesn't have a like a day off, because it's on a Thursday in a streaming service, so there's no like day off like Potomac. And Salt Lake City ends either this Wednesday or the following Wednesday, which, by the way, I'm not sure why they even have a 3-part reunion, because this reunion could have easily been an email, let alone a 3-part reunion. You guys, so that's everything for tonight. It's been quite the passionate night when it comes to these topics. I like heavy topics. I like to talk about what people are afraid to talk about a little bit. It gets me excited. So if you like this episode, please go ahead and subscribe to my podcast, Martini with Eddie. And you can also find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok as Martini with Eddie. And I also have my own website, martinezwitheddie.com. Please leave your rate, give me stars on my podcast, because that's how we podcasters survive. That's kind of the staple of approval for us. So please give us a rate. I always tell people, if you love a podcaster, give them a rate, because it show them the love. So show me some love. I love to see it. I love to read your reviews. I really appreciate it. And give me feedbacks. I'm here for it. Also, this week I have a episode on Thursday for the recap for Salt Lake City. Oh God, part 2. But this week I don't have a guest on Friday, because I'm going to Charleston to party with the people of Southern Hospitality. I will have so much tea, you guys. I have so many plans with them. We have, yeah, you guys have no idea. Just keep an eye on all my social media, because pictures, videos, everything are going to be shown there. And I will bring you all the tea next week about my trip to Southern Hospitality. Who knows? Maybe I can bring on some of the people that I'm going with, and maybe a cast member. Who knows? To tell you all about it. So yes, thank you guys for joining me tonight. And like I always say, it's coming. Subscribe to my podcast, and also bye, besties.